Hey, good morning. Let's get some charts up here. There we go. All right. So markets are up, rallying. Some news, Russia, whatever. Ukraine playing nice, maybe, and crude oil coming down. And we talked, I know, yesterday and maybe before about this coming down to retest this low when we anticipated it bouncing off of here. So now that it's coming down to the low, and the markets are liking that, and the markets are up. When it gets down into this area, somewhere maybe on the 50, or give or take a little down below here, buyers are going to show up. And depending on how much they do, and coming off of this low, I think you're going to see at least a short-term top in the market. That's run up quite a bit here. So keep that in mind. And set alerts down here to look at USO for those that don't have the futures. Okay, 72 gapping down. It's got a ways to go. So not that we need the market to necessarily, the market's going to top here this morning, but just keep that in mind. This is still surprised that didn't perk up there. Okay. Let's see this. Interesting. A little bit of a hedging and bearish bets into the close yesterday. So that's a positive, actually. I mean, the breadth, not that the markets move very much, but not surprising, the breadth is where it was. But, at the end of the day, buyers showed up, and still that put call ratio was relatively high. I mean, not extreme, but okay. All right. Spiders are up at that whole number, right, at 460. And that was a target area up around there. It did get above these highs. We spoke about that yesterday, about this resting period and this correction bars, not bar, but correction. I said that. So getting up to here and potentially higher. We'll see how it deals with that. That opening price over here. Yeah, all right. So it's a whole number. It should be a sticking point. So far, it's hanging up there today pretty well. S&Ps, pushing above the highs. And what did we say yesterday? We were talking about with McGraw about a 50-point range of 4,600. I didn't look at the. Let me just check out. I didn't think there was a big call open interest there. Let me see here. Nothing of great significance, but let's see at the end of the week. Should be a bit of a sticking point. I mean, it's much larger on the 31st at the end of the month than it is around that. 11,000 and change versus, in the hundreds. So, all right. We'll see how that handles that. But if oil keeps coming down, I don't see what's going to make the market start coming in. Where's interest rates? Coming back down to earth a little bit. So everything pretty much firing on all cylinders for the bullish case first thing in the morning. See if that continues. And yesterday started out with financials going down, and they got some buyers showed up there in the latter part of the day. So bottoming tail bars, and we'll see if oil keeps coming down and the financials continue to move up. This is at $40 now. So gapping up here. maybe the half hour of strength first thing in the morning, and I would be a little careful at that first reversal period. If this keeps pushing up, maybe sell or some longs. But we'll see what it does. And Q's coming up to a target area up at this pivot high. It's through 15,000. And well, let's see if it gets above that. There's pivots here. But it's, measured, kind of eyeballing this as a measured move, which would put it higher than that level. So just because it's here, it doesn't mean it can't go through it. Right? I mean, the trend is up on the hourly. It's getting a little extended there. You see it's starting to shoot up there. You can see much clearer there on the 5-minute chart. But holding up. You saw the S&Ps were holding up, going sideways. Good morning there on YouTube, everybody. Thank you for the good mornings. And yeah, so, this is where there's a cluster of some opens and closes there. You can see that. We scrunched that up a little bit. Not really anything of real significance. See those pivots over there. But, just as a point of interest or a point of being aware, when you see a cluster of opens and closing prices around there, you're going to see some kind of congestion. But it's pretty far away. And it wasn't really tested much. Kind of got close and then came. So one of the things we look at is, something is coming down, any rally off of the low, does it test some part of it? So there's kind of a range over here. And this really didn't even get to the bottom of it. So, meaning, so as you see that, you do see prices, come up and test, and then it goes down again, it bases out. And, as it's coming up there, it just communicates to us a higher probability of getting through that area if it's been tested before. This really hasn't been. So I think, 15,500, this little cluster there could be where it's eventually headed, which is a nice distance away if it can keep going. And as always, bar by bar, where's today end? The first reference point of support becomes the prior day's low. And always the prior bar's low. You can see there, kind of like a cluster of open, see close, open, close, open, and the consolidation that's right there. Russell, right at the top of the range. We'll see if this can hold on. So looking at the Russell futures, or if you're looking at IWM, one of the things to keep an eye on for, will it keep going higher, or is keep an eye on KBE. So you see KBE moving up, and you see KBI, biotech, moving up, and XOP, but primarily KBE and KBI, biotech. If they're moving up together, odds are this will hold its resistance area or push up through it. Tesla coming up to resistance. Well, it had that big gap up yesterday. Where is it? And so that's backed off here. It went up to 1124. Yeah, right there at the pivot high. See how easy it is? John Williams, all you got to do is look to the left. No fibs, no trend lines, no VWAPs, no Gann squares, no fib extensions. Just look over to the left and see if it was there before. and it was in that area. So yeah, it's at some resistance, and gaps up. Well, now it's come off quite a bit, as you can see here, pre-market back down to 1108. So 1108. All right. 1108. Yeah. So the top of this bar is actually into that. It's over here. Just watch on the top of that bar for buyers to show up there if it doesn't hold these pivots. So you see the pivot low, holding here. Maybe it moves up again. If the markets are moving up, maybe it goes back up to retest the overnight high. Bitcoin, just holding up here. Got some room to 50,000. Looking over to the left. We looked at crude oil, it's coming down toward that 50. Wow, silver plunge on the oil coming down there. All right, things change. It's looking pretty good. Well, still obviously a lot weaker than gold. I mean, we'll see whether this holds that 50 or keeps going lower. Interesting times with all this inflation hype and this crude oil coming down. That maybe giving that a little reprieve on the inflation scare with oil coming down as it is. And so we want to look at maybe stocks like Freeport McMoran, 49. Yeah. So this agricultural stocks probably be under some selling pressure. We'll see how far that all goes. And transport's cleared that high. All right. Talked about this yesterday with this bullish price action here. So that looks like it should go higher. So we got, a lot of things. First thing this morning here, already higher. Pre-market price action, they're holding. Buyers aren't running away. There's some room to move higher yet. Our internals are not cooked yet. So with today's gap up, we'll see where things end up near the, later in the day, and see if this breadth pushes up, and we'll see. In other words, are these up in here tomorrow? And if they are, and we'll see where things are at. But we know if both of these lines push up in agreement into this red area, we'll be days away from some corrective price action. All right, well, yours, Dan. Pretty straightforward here this morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I said the last 2 days that we were fully bullish into the close, but we were trading unique patterns that weren't just straight up. We had some type of continuation, and I actually posted a couple of them pre-market here because they're new, beautiful setups. And yeah, even though we're going to have 1 foot out the door, we can't just, we can't just say, oh, I'm going to wait till I get and then wait for the perfect setup, because then you could be losing some beautiful swing trades. So I made a lot of adjustments also on things. We got a number of put spreads. We got Facebook, we got AMD, we got Costco, we got a bunch of them. So check the open trade spreadsheet, and I obviously sent them out in Telegram, PayPal. This is a new setup. See, this is not extended. Bullish daily, weekly. Looks fantastic. Now let's go through this list. If you have any questions on any opens, just shoot them at me. SMHs. Remember, we were trying to get a put spread yesterday and it triggered, but we didn't get the juice. There was a crazy moves here from 12:30 into the close. And today the media is talking about possible Russia ceasefire. I wonder how much of this move was attributable to that. We did Avgo yesterday. We did a bunch of them. We got a ton of opens now. Sienna, my alarm went off. So see, it's lagging the market, of course, but it's resting. So it's gapping up. We can do a 5-minute high. All right, Boeing was on the list, but didn't trigger. That's a big mess. Let's go over here. CRK. Gap into $12. All right, so this is a bearish gap under a green bar in a climactic sell setup. So this is it's a day trade short watch. That looks great. I'll put that in this window over here. Quebec Sierra, we were watching in the green room yesterday. Had a little bit deep of retracement. And we'll give it some time, but nice decisive breakout on volume. We're going to do a volume MT live in a couple weeks, but look, that's igniting volume. And look over here, this was kind of some short-term ending volume, climactic buy setup, and then a new low snapback, gap reversal, Charlie Foxtrot, 97. Shoot, I like this a lot when it was at 101, but now it's fallen another $4. But that would have been a call spread watch. Delow, buy setup into a WRB, greater than 100% retracement. Looks fantastic. So that's as a new trade, you know, this I like. Trying to buy, I mean, I mentioned a great pre-market that I think IBM could be a catch-up trade, has a big void. It also did greater than 100% retracement and 2 bottoming tails here with a bullish weekly. That's a W bottom. I know it's in a downtrend W bottom, but you got a void. Like I said earlier, we're traders. If this goes to 212, even with the gap up, that's $4. Hood, we were short a $10 put on this igniting day on earnings, and now it's kind of a bull flag. It's sloppy. It's definitely not a directional, but it's a bottoming pattern here. Look at the weekly. It's, you know, down from $85. So that's I'm gonna watch that to sell another put. Nielsen up too big. I wonder if that's a buyout. S got a downgrade, but it rebounded nicely off the low. FTNT. You know, this is not a quality gap and crap because it's not fluid multiple bars up. It's grinding higher with inside days, red bars ignored. But it's, you know, gapping near the top of the range here under 30-minute low. Maybe it's a call spread. Joseph saying, what are my thoughts on Costco? Well, we sold an out of the money put spread yesterday. This is bullish consolidation, but it's not a great directional really. Just, you know, it's run a lot. This is very bullish, but it's not a great directional. Compare it to some of these that I'm going through right now. DLO. This one's superior as a new trade. You know, this one went up, came back. I got 3 bars here on the turn. I have a couple other longs in here, so I'll get to them in a second. All right, pins. Pins actually is a posted long, and they got a downgrade, so that's going to make it better because it's only going to trigger if the gap down's negated. DNA, little bottoming pattern. Let's come back to it. Sherwin, 240, 230. Yeah, that looks totally fine, Stephen. I just know historically, Sherwin is spready, but we'll look at it together later. So Greg, this is what I mentioned into the close. We have a put spread on it, short put spread. And I said into the close, I'm like, wow, this looks like a directional now. Look at that beautiful 15-minute close. Price void, closing breakout. So we're gonna move the stop to a 30-minute low on our put spreads. Play did have an ugly gap down. Now that's 100% negated. So I have no interest. SCYX. Okay, earlier today I couldn't see a gap, and this is kind of a bull flag. Here's igniting volume again. See how it just jumps out at you? And that's a little bull flag with a price void. But this has to get over yesterday's high. And now I see that it's gapping down, so I seriously doubt that's going to happen. Con 1780. Oh, that's an ugly gap. You know, this you got 2 traps here. You had a 180 reversal where all the bears in that bar got smacked in the face. Now the bulls are getting smacked in the face. I think it had earnings though, so that's why. Yeah, so 39 bucks, gapping right to resistance, no interest. McKesson, all right, earlier today I couldn't tell where it was gapping, but this is a breakout candidate. I'm going to set an alarm at 98.10. So then if it negates the gap down, it's you know, big old void here. Qualcomm, it's climactic here now, Emmanuel. It's not, I mean, if the market's going to keep going, yes, it looks higher. So the 2 problems are, is that our best looking one, number 1, and number 2, there's no way I would touch it here with that Climo looking at the pre-market. That's why I'm more in the mode of some profit taking. A PLD, yeah, it is a 1, 2, 3 weekly, but your daily's at a prior high. So what you really want, Stephen, is 1 or 2 inside bars on the daily to rest. Love, this would have been, this is another beautiful bottoming pattern with a bull flag, but the gap's too big. And this is also a 1, 2, 3 on the weekly. Let's say hypothetically it was gapping up just to $50. Then my target would be 55. And it's gapping at 56. So it's too big for me. Kala, no interest, gapping down. That's a bearish gap. No interest, downtrend. Race, this is Ferrari. It's an ADR, but bottoming pattern, gapping up. We can see maybe if there's a put spread on that. GME, oh shoot, this was down 7, 8 bucks earlier. And I had this as a bear call credit spread, 30-minute low. But now it's, well, we'll come back to it. PayPal, I mentioned, I like not only long, but a put spread. Marin, we mentioned these two little Bitcoin mining stocks. Something was up with them yesterday. They just flew into the close. Now it's a bearish gap down. What did I do? So Marin, I have no interest. Any was another one. This one's holding a little better. Well, I'll keep that on the list. Dash, I posted as a put spread. But with this gap up, I'm not sure if we're gonna, I doubt we're gonna get the desired credit. Groupon, it's a dog. I mean, it is going sideways, Emmanuel, but it just looks like it has fleas. So many of these others that I'm saying I like are better patterns. Top, Greg mentioned yesterday. This is a new trade over yesterday's high. My MKC alarm just went off. All right, so see now it is gapping up to 99. Intuit, this is one we also bought yesterday afternoon. All right, now it's gapping up to 490-ish. I'm running out of space here. I need more little windows. All right, Intuit. So we're in the, I have to check the price, but I think we're up 20 bucks now. But let's see, it's a bottoming pattern, kind of an inverse head and shoulder. But you got this bull flag. Memory Manuel, we had the conversation that the pattern suggested it would go through that. NVST. Okay. NVST, another little buy setup, bull flag, minor support. So say I'm pointing out the patterns of the new trades that I like. As you know, as opposed to straight up and getting caught in this crazy. All right, Intuit. No, what did I get filling? 488.59. 4. 2. I'll come back and adjust that later. All right, S-Fix was a short. Yeah, see when the tide goes up, you know, even these short patterns are not working. Have the tier. That's better. You know, it's at this gap.